Hi, this is Cat, Sweet Cat Magic. I've just finished cleaning at the cat house, and I've had something on my mind all day, and when it won't go away, it's usually because I'm supposed to address it. I call it my litter box moments. I have used, because I scoop a lot of stuff, um, I have used litter box time as a time of kind of meditation. It came from years ago when I read a book, Chop wood and carry water, where you can make the most mundane tasks a very spiritual experience if you approach it from that standpoint. So what I found when I do my litter boxes is that I have litter box moments of insight that comes to me. And so every once in a while I go, okay, that's pretty profound. And a lot of it usually has to do with cleaning out things, clearing out things, my mind or anything. It just seems that just as I'm scooping the poop, I'm scooping the poop out of my mind and that. So one of the things that I have been really thinking about a lot and what came to me is swearing. And the preponderance of swearing and how that affects yourself and others. Even though I grew up as a Mormon, it was my sister who was the strong Mormon member, and my father, who had been raised in Utah, and my mother, who had been raised in Utah, really weren't that deep into it. But because of my sister and her getting into it, then the family thought, well, we'll all start to be. But my father couldn't go to church because he had acquired quite a habit of swearing all the time. I mean, he could not say a single sentence without it being totally laden in cuss words. It would range from, how the hell are you, to the most graphic and crude language. And while he was a very generous man, he would give you the shirt off of his back. And he taught me a lot about generosity. We had restaurants, and he would always have anybody that came in that looked hungry, or any of the homeless people, all knew they could go there and get a bowl of soup. It was information, and he could just kind of did his own little first soup kitchen. But the swearing was always there. And my older brother, who was 2 years older than me, caught on because that's the only thing we were exposed to at home. Now, talk about a dichotomy. Go to church and all this life and stuff, and then you wake up in the, into a house that's just all day long swear words, and swear words that could be used. The same word could be used as an adjective, adverb, noun, and it's just amazing what you can do sometimes with those words, with the same word, and how many ways you can use it. And as a small child, I grew up, one of my prayers every night would be, I would just like not to hear swear words tomorrow, and please just let me wake up and not hear fighting and swear words. And so as I grew older, one of the requirements I put on there, the standards I had, is I would never marry a man who swore. And so I was very impressed that when I met my first husband, that I've been married twice, as my second husband, who I've been married to just for a little bit of time of 36 years. But he knew how I felt about swear words. And the kids, when they were growing up, I had raised four of his children as my stepchildren. And they all knew that they did not swear in the house, because I just didn't want to have my house filled with that. And I had a neighbor who thought I had carried it too far, that I should allow swearing, that they needed to vent of some kind. And she said I had a hang-up with swearing. And that, this is Pippa. And so she said, I bet you can't even say shit. And so it took me quite a while. It took me a couple of days. I kept trying to... And then I realized something, that you can go one extreme to another. I had carried the no swearing so far that the words could not even come out of my mouth. And I thought that was the extreme. I should be able to, and I should allow some expression of that around me, because that was being really infringing on their emotional right to vent. Because my husband would always say, but I feel so much better after I say all that. I said, yes, you may feel better after that, but I'm left in a room filled with all of those words going around. And it's interesting. So one of the things that, as a result of this, is I remember one time I was feeding a cat of someone that had abandoned the cat. And I had noticed, so I had gotten several calls. This cat was abandoned, so I went to feed it. And I noticed when I went there, there would be kind of like rice thrown around or cereal thrown around, that somebody who would come and just throw food. And so I thought, well, I will try to find out who that is and just let them know that I'm actually feeding the cat and that they didn't have to worry about that. So I finally narrowed down who it was that did it, and she was walking alongside the road, and I pulled up next to her, and I said, "Oh, hi." I said, "Are you helping to feed that cat around the corner there?" And she says, "Yes." And I said, "Oh, I just wanted you to know that I also do feed. I go every day because she would only go maybe 2 or 3 times a week." I said, "I go every day and it's fed." And she said, You fucking newcomers, you think you can come into this place and take over and do everything." And so she was just very angry. And I remember being so angry that I responded with, "Well, I'm sorry, I'm a fucking newcomer." And I drove off in a huff with the speed of my pushing my foot down, peeled out. And I thought, oh, wow, I had really come a long way. I could now respond in like. She said that word. I can say it back. I have liberated myself. I no longer am unable to say those words. And so then for about 10 minutes, I felt really good, very powerful, like, whoa. And then time went on, and the night went on, and I started just feeling worse and worse. Because I thought, that's not who I am. That's not the way I want to respond. I want to have what comes out, the first thing that comes out of me is what I'm filled with. I want it to be kind words. I want it to be loving words. I don't want to react in that mode. And I was quite disappointed in myself that I allowed a perfect stranger to turn me into something I didn't want to be. I mean, it's just like, in a moment, a stranger. You know, you can practice everything and try to be spiritual and do all this, and a stranger, by just saying some magic words, can magically turn me into this person I don't want to be, because words have power. And what I did is I ended up writing a note to her. And I apologized. Now, she's the one that started it, yes. She's the one that really did a lot of nasty stuff. But I didn't want to... I'm sorry, there's a cat right here that keeps trying to notice me. Anyway, so so I didn't want to be like that. So I just apologized. I wrote a letter and I said, "I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this would upset you. I thought perhaps that you'd be relieved to know I had received several calls from different people talking about this cat being abandoned, and because I moved here in 1970. I mean, I bought property here in 78, and I have a nonprofit cat rescue for that. That's why people call me." So I left the note right where she used to feed the cat. And so she ended up writing me back and saying that she was sorry, that she was really embarrassed the way she had responded. And later we became friends, okay? So just talking about that, I have this image, and it's been almost this animation that's been going in my mind, and I was thinking about doing a Go animate that has this person just walking around going, this, shit, 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 shit. And realizing if somebody else just comes along and says, "You know something? You're full of shit." Because when that's the only thing that can come out of your mouth all the time, then that's what you're full of. If kindness comes out of your mouth, if loving words come out of your mouth, now I know that this is going to upset some people, that well, if you don't like swear words, then unsubscribe to me. And I'm really looking at that as far as, yes, I probably will, because I go on YouTube to feel good. I go on to learn from women and men who have kind of, are on the spiritual path. And it's disconcerting to, I watch the videos first thing in the morning. Sorry, this one cat is just all over my lap. Anyway, trying to, okay, yin yang. This is yin yang. This is yin yang. To start the day with some positive attitude. And there's some people that I subscribe to that are just lovely, 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 lovely people. But I've noticed that there's a preponderance of starting to swearing, of just, and I know a very, very popular YouTuber that, just, basically if people don't like it, go yourselves. And are to you, all you people. And there's something that doesn't resonate well when you are going to be an example to people as to, look, I've studied this, I have that. I know people say, but I'm being real, I'm being real. And yes, you are being real, and I grant you that. I grant you that you are being real, that is that the real you want to be. Okay, and I know I've brought this. I had on another forum when I first got started into going onto forums, and I had one person that said F you and F the horse you rode in on, and I could just remember going, now isn't that silly? Isn't that a silly way? All you do is with one person says F you, the other person says F you, and it just escalates so that you just do this F, 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 and nothing gets accomplished. And then you start effing animals and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, this is so crazy. And I responded with her, why would you want to do that to an animal? I mean, my horse has done nothing wrong. Why would you want to do that? Of course, they had such a response that they just left. I mean, it was like, how can you answer something like that, Anyway, I would just like to put that out there, not as a judgment, but just as how it feels to be on the receiving end. Some, they rate motion pictures because of language. And, there's, I don't know if maybe I'm starting to put little disclaimers on my videos that will say, comments don't always work. If you're going to be upset or bothered by me not leaving a comment, then don't subscribe. And I did that because I had a person get really upset. Yin Yang got clawed up on my shirt. Person get really upset with me because I hadn't replied to an email, not a comment, but to an email. And I thought, well, if a person can respond like that to an email, what are they doing out there as far as being upset about not replying to a comment? So anyway, that's just some food for thought. And I'd be interested to hear what yours are. I would request, though, that if we could not, effing me and all that kind of stuff. There's a sense that of level, vibration or something. Our bodies are filled with water, and if you've ever read any of the messages in water, and how a word can change your body, the actual water. They froze ice. I never say it's a Japanese name, Emoto, I think it is. That you could see what negative words have on the impact of messages in water, frozen water, crystalline, and then to realize that if the first thought you have are those words, you are just having that in your body. All of your crystal, your blood, and everything is taking on those words and that negativity, and maybe just being a little aware of that. Because of the harm it can do to you, and also the pollution that it puts out there with the people all around you that hear it